All right, welcome back. Just Kicking It is back in the building. I'm with my compadre, Big Dick Pen, man. How's everything going in Seattle, man?
Man, rainy days. Actually, a little bit of sunshine, poking out today. But no, things are really good in the Great Northwest. How you doing out there in STL, man?
Yeah, good. It's been actually good weather here. It's been good
Okay.
weather, actually, man. It's been cool because, shit, well, a couple weeks ago, it was -10. Like, it was like negatives.
Right.
Like, you couldn't even, like, you couldn't even, if you went outside even, you was frozen. Like, it wasn't, don't care how much you get, parkas you got on, anything, it was gone.
Right. I heard
So,
then it
yeah,
damn
let's
near got
jump
up
on in.
to the 60s. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's jump. Dude, so we haven't talked in a while, man. So let's talk about this Buckhalter situation, dude. With this thing, man. I mean, it's a long train of how this went. And Buckhalter kind of started it. For people that may not know, he basically it was at a TED talk or some kind of like conference and talking about it out loud. Like, yeah, we had a little situation with a young player on the team, and then it was a team vote, and it was only one vote. He told everything and just was basically saying it was Claudio Reyna, the junior Gio Reyna.
Yeah, man. We've talked about on the show many times. This sport of football is really like a soap opera for men, and here just is another example. Multiple generations was doing a little reading on this. The Reynas and the Buckhalters, went to primary school together. Worked their way up through the men's national team. And both kind of holding positions within the senior U.S. men's national team picture today. And then young Gio, being a player on the pitch. The moms know each other.
Yep,
Come to
the
find
moms
out
played
that
together too, didn't they?
played together out at North Carolina, I believe it was. And that's where the actual observation of the abuse took place. I guess it goes back to them being, 18. Buckhalter, he claims drunken fueled night, young and dumb kind of deal. But in the modern Me Too age, that's obviously unacceptable behavior, with no matter the reason. And yeah, man, flip it back over to you, man.
Yeah.
I think that's where we are.
Yeah, and so then you have Ernie Johnson involved as well, who's a U.S. national legend as well. He's over.
Yep.
Then she basically like, hey, this happened. What you gonna do about it? She claims she told him a long time ago. I don't know when this timeline because it happened in '91. So it's like,
Right.
I mean, damn. But then a part of me is like Bookhart should just kept it close on me because he know they got dirt on him almost. It's almost too. All right, I kind of played your son out there. Maybe he was acting up. Maybe he was not doing what he was supposed to be doing. But I'm just gonna keep it to my vest. All right, let's keep move forward. The Copa America is gonna be in the U.S. Coming up in next year. Next year, no, 2024. Yeah, next year. So let me just move forward towards that, and let me see if I can get this World Cup 2026.
Yeah. No, it's really strange how this has continued to move forward because, like you said, Buckhalter was up for contract renewal, so you would think he wouldn't want to bring any unwanted attention to himself, and he's done just the opposite, right? It sounds like the blackmail piece of this, and that's why he tried to get out in front of it and apologize. And I mean, if you have a player on the current men's roster whose mother is attempting to blackmail the head coach, that's a hell of a problem there right there. And what's the future? I think that Reyna, Gio, he has a bigger future, with the men's national team than Buckhalter
Oh,
does.
by far.
I'm semi pleased with what we saw at the World Cup, but not enough. What's the future hold? Do they bring him back? How do they justify
I
it in the
think he
Me
can't
Too
go back.
era?
I think he's not coming back at all.
Right.
It's no way he could come back, man. Because because Gio's going to be on this squad regardless of what moving forward. So are we going to
Yep.
have a thing where you're back in the locker room with the mom who's snitching, and then Gio comes in a little puffed out chest like, oh, I ain't playing. Oh, word.
Right.
Let me call mommy up.
Right.
She'll drop
We've
down.
seen this happen in other sports, like with the Lakers when a guy snitched on his, to the girlfriend that he was cheating.
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, exactly. So it's almost one of those things where somebody has to be dismissed, sent away, basically never be heard of again. And I think that's the coach.
I think their next coach is Jesse Marsh from Leeds. I think that's the next. I think that's the makes the most sense, the best with what it is. He was already in line potentially to be the next U.S. coach. You
Yeah.
know, Leeds is having trouble right now, a little bit in the table. It'd be a perfect thing if he keeps them up and then just says, you know what, I'm going to be the U.S. national coach and rebuild himself. And then Buckhalter, they said in general, he was thinking about anyway going back into being a manager for a European team anyway. He was thinking about it.
Right.
So just go ahead, leave off, let Jesse Marsh come in, and he's young. You know what I'm saying? Like all those kind of things for your upcoming World Cup is all kind of built in him.
Yeah, I see that, and I think that's a good choice. I heard, and who knows if it's just rumor, but they were trying to get Zinedine Zidane and try to go with the international.
How much money they going to pay him? I mean, that's the whole U.S. national. What, are they going to be on buses now? Like, that's the whole budget.
Well, they say he pretty quickly turned down the job, but I see what you're saying on Marsh being in the Premier League. He's going to have that credibility, the pace of the game, the current tactics, the European game. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's
and he's coaching up three U.S. players is on his squad. He's coaching them up.
Right.
I mean, Tyler Adams is like an all-star, like Bonafide all-star, out there with them, as well as I believe who else? What you call it on there too, Arrington.
Right. Right. No, that's totally a good fit. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's the way the U.S. teams kind of got to go moving forward with that. So let's get into the Premier League, man. Are you in Palpatine mode? Because that's been one of our biggest clips going on.
No, man. I was down in the dumps for a while. Man, I really start questioning my allegiance to this club sometimes. But I feel like we're back, man. I see them splashing the cash. I'm not worried about financial fair play right now. But
I mean, it's getting real close where it's like, how much y'all are really trying to spend?
And I think even the financial rules are going to have to change, because I think your average player now is $80 to $100 million. I mean, if young and a lot of upside, that's an $80 to $100 million transfer, no matter what. And so I think that the fair play rules are going to have to adjust to absorb that, because we're just starting to see that as a new trend. Everybody's almost $100 million man.
So Chelsea, are y'all back? Like, are you still have top four aspirations?
The group chat. That there's some highly questionable opinions being splashed around in the group chat. I see the little one chiming in. Hi.
I'm recording. Say hey.
Hey, Xander. How you doing? Hey, you looking cute today. Got the backpack on.
So top four is still in the mix for you. You feel like?
I think top four is a good goal for us, man. I mean, Arsenal is definitely doing their thing. We're seeing some of the big clubs really start to falter. I mean, just look at what happened at the weekend with you guys beating City. I didn't see that coming. So I think it's possible, man. I think we could run the table and get back to top four.
It's gonna be. I mean, I don't know if Newcastle's gonna fall though. That's the thing. It's like every week I'm like, all right, this is it. Especially the Fulham game. And did you see the Fulham game?
I did. And I saw the highlights.
He double kicked that PK.
Yes,
I've never seen it. I didn't even know it was a rule.
That was terrible. Oh yeah. Oh no.
I know the rule, but it's like that's like something that's like when you're like a kid that happens where you're like, oh yeah, you can't double kick it. You don't expect professionals to do that.
No, you really don't, man. And somebody of his caliber to do that, that's crushing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be since we're talking about rules, we might as well get to the Manchester Derby.
Man, what a tough
great win for the home team. I don't see anything wrong with anything that was called on the pitch, but I feel that Manchester City was flopping. That was something that was not. They were like literally trying to falling down to get penalties.
I'm not really buying that. I mean, Manchester City, arguably the most skillful, team in all of the Premier League. So that's rubbish to even think that they're using that as a tactic to.
I'm just saying they're kind of soft. They're kind of soft.
That's really thinking highly of your club, suggesting that they need to do that to defeat your club.
I didn't say need to. I said they work. That doesn't need to. You don't need to do a lot of things. But
I
they
think
were
that's
out there.
bizarre.
They were just Kyle Walker's falling all over the pitch. Every moment.
Man, let's get straight into it. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, we've all played the game. We've all watched the game. 99 out of 100 times that would have been whistled offsides. The referees always err on the side of caution when it comes to offsides. Number one. So that's
Mhm.
one reason why they should have blown the whistle. The second thing is it's all about impacting the goalkeeper and the players around the goalkeeper. So I mean, little things like the angle that the goalkeeper takes to the ball is different based on the position of the offside player. Also, I kind of felt like Rashford fainted. You know what I mean? They gave him the old hezzy, and that also impacted the goalkeeper. So that's another reason to blow the whistle because you are impacting the play. And so for that goal to stand, man, it's just completely bizarre in a game of that magnitude, Derby Day. What
I
are we
mean,
doing?
I disagree. I get your point, but also Rashford is when he realized he was fully off, he got to try to get away from the ball. That's the thing that got the VAR to be like, you know what? He tried to move away from it, like let me get brace off of it, and he got through with it.
Intent has nothing to do here. So you're talking about intentions. I'm talking about literally what happened, and he is absolutely impacting the other players around him. It's just simple as that, man. Listen, take the 3 points and
Yeah.
move on. But you got to understand, you
Oh no, we
tap
got
dancing
over
on
on
the
one.
razor
It
blade.
was it
Yeah.
was a real touch and go situation.
Okay.
I
I,
mean, do you think the second one was offsides?
I'm talking about the one where
No, I'm talking about
Fernandez.
that second one too, because people were debating that second goal as well
The
being
second
offside.
one, no. The second one, no, no. I think that was okay, but that first one, yeah, that was rough, man. That was
Yeah, I
rough.
mean, I mean, you got to give credit to Ten Hag here, as Heisenberg Hag, as I'm starting to call him. He's out. I mean, he has literally turned this team around. We're not high scoring. We're not going to come out there, but we're going to fight. We're going to brutalize you. We're going to be out there pushing you down.
Listen, it sounds really good, man, and
And your hate is super strong for this. Like it hurts you. I know to
it's
see
no.
this team
It's
flying high.
you know what it is. It's just so funny to watch the ups and downs with you, man. You think that it's starting to come together. You
It
think
is
that
though. Like
you,
we've only lost one game in 12. That's
I
not an
want to
up
see
and down.
a string of these sorts of
We
performances.
have. We didn't give
No,
up a goal. We've only given up 2 goals in 9 games.
I mean, and you guys do have a nice collection of players, and again, I think that you guys are a top 8 club. That's what I really see you
We're
guys as
top
like
three.
listen, the dust is far from settled, man. But hey, listen, today that's correct. Today that is correct.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. I mean, the biggest issue with Man U was we didn't have a CDM. Casemiro came in and settled everything, and everybody looks so much better defensively. Everything because we don't have to worry about backtracking now. We don't have to worry about that. So now Rashford and those wingers can fly up and not have to worry about anything in the middle anymore. And
Yeah.
that's been the big thing.
Now, you guys are a fun club to watch. I will give you that. I do
Yeah,
enjoy
we come
watching
out there,
it.
we
But
brutalize, and it's refreshing. See, next week is going to be big. I'm not saying that if we're in a title race necessarily yet, like some other Man U fans are saying. If we win next week, we're in a title race.
okay, yeah,
Winning
okay,
at winning at Arsenal, we haven't won at the Emirates in I don't know how long.
yeah. No,
So this
it's a
it'll be
massive,
humongous.
it's a massive match, man. But I could just see your campaign start to crumble with a epic loss, a shellacking, should I say,
So
by
Arsenal,
that
you
young,
think so?
yeah. I like that young Arsenal team. I
No, no,
do.
no, they're nice. They're nice. It's something about if you because Martinez is coming back into the fold from the World Cup tour he's been doing, kicking it. It's he likes to fight, and Arsenal has a team that works on finesse.
Yeah. But I'm seeing Land Odegaard. He's coming good. I don't know if you saw the strike he had at the weekend. I mean, he's pulling all the strings and putting the ball in the back of the net. And listen, I like that Arsenal team, man. I do.
No, no, they're doing it. They're doing it. I'm very this. I'm keeping my. I'm still top four, but I'm not title race yet. It's too long of a season left to go. A lot of things could go bad at any point. Some injuries, anything. Same thing as well with Arsenal. If they lose Partey, it's over for them.
Yeah, you can see how critical he is talking about the unnecessary central defensive midfielder. Yeah, just like to your to your player, though. Those are key guys. Absolutely.
All right, let's get a little bit more to the table. We have little bit of Spurs. Where are Spurs at kind of now at this point as we look at them?
I really feel like they're fading, man. Just kind of seems like what we've seen from them year over year. They have a lot of talented pieces. You got the Harry Kanes, you got the international coach, and it just never seems to fully get there. I think another disappointing season for those guys. What do you think?
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at them on paper, if you play with them on FIFA, it's crazy. You got Kane, Son, and Richarlison up front. You would think that this would be and Basuma, Hoiberg. You would think like, oh, they're all guns going, but it's just not coming together. That defense is bad. I don't know. Loris is. I don't know if he got a World Cup hangover going on or what. I don't know.
Just saw him giving up some softies, man. You don't expect that from a goalkeeper of his caliber, getting beat at the near post, things like that.
Yeah, because he's also retired. He said from international play. He announced that last week before this previous game. So he's not playing international anymore. So I don't know, but I think it's going to be a hell of a run. I don't know what's going on with Liverpool right now. What do you think's Liverpool? What's going on with Liverpool right now, man?
Man, they're in a rough spot as well. I saw they rolled out a couple of their new transfers. What is it? Gapco?
Yeah, they took them from us. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're trying to pull in the right direction. I wouldn't count them out just yet. I think this next weekend for them is huge as well, how their season's going to unfold. But I wouldn't count those guys out just yet. So much talent.
I mean, how long? Because Van Dijk's out. I don't know how long he's out for, though. That's a big loss.
It is. But got to trust in that manager, man. I think Klopp's got something.
Y'all give Liverpool just the benefit of doubt, and people in general just give them the benefit of doubt. To me, a little bit too much. They're sitting 10th in the table right now, 10 points like off the top board. How are we still just believing?
But they're a strong pony. I mean, when you look at how they performed the past 3 or 4 campaigns, they've been right there. So they're not somebody where, they're going to panic. They understand take it to the next level, another year. And that's another club that I think could put on a run of 3-4 wins in a row, and then they're right back in the mix, man. I can see that. Yeah,
they could. So let's talk about Chelsea a little bit here, wrapping up our Premier League talk. There's people out there feeling as if Chelsea is copying off of Arsenal with their transfer movements as of late, or just copying everyone. Because what was y'all left for João Felix? The João Felix thing was copied off of us. The Mudryk copy off of Arsenal. Is that the moves now for Chelsea? Is cheating on exams?
That's bizarre, man. Once again, I mean, but listen, we're running a big club, okay? Mm-hmm. Not everybody is a big club. We're a big club, and that means that we have resources and tentacles all over the globe. So, yes, we're monitoring a lot of the same players that an Arsenal or Liverpool, may be monitoring, but we have the capability and the resources to actually bring those players into the club, and that's what we're demonstrating right now.
Yeah, I mean, but y'all are spending money for no reason.
Well, listen, it's about having the resources and bringing in the right fits, the right personalities. Even with Modric, that was signed over the weekend. I mean, you can see even on his highlight tapes that little extra burst,
he didn't want to play for y'all.
Hunger.
He didn't even want to play for y'all. He literally had a whole. He said, "My dream. I can't wait to play for Arsenal against Man U." Like that was his. He literally just quoted and said, "He don't want to come. So why do y'all want a man that doesn't want to come?"
It's all posturing, right? Contract posturing. That's what that was about, man. He knows where it's at. He wants to be a Blue, and he is, man. He looked very happy pulling up the jersey.
Of course, getting a check. I mean,
a very hefty check.
Why y'all have 55 wingers at this point? What was the purpose of even getting him?
Listen, I think he's a game changer. So I see some extra on his tape. I'm just going on the eye test. I see that extra burst, that extra hunger. Yeah. And I even heard they may play him up top as a striker. I think he's more of a winger, but man, it could be interesting now. Interesting.
Because how many wingers you guys have now? Like, you guys have like 7 or 8.
Oh yeah, we do. And I mean, just how many we have out on loan that were supposed to be the next big thing. So yeah, no, that's a fair, critique, but yeah, you got to keep trying. It's like, 3 little bears, man. You got to keep trying to find one that's just.
And now y'all paying João Felix $600,000 a week for since he got they did the calculation since he got the red card. With those 3 games he's out, Chelsea's paying him $600,000 a game now for the rest of the season.
It must be nice for him, man. But I really do think that he's a game changer, and I think
He
that
is.
he lights a fire under Mount and Harvard's to understand that hey, this club will spend money and will bring in young talent at your position, and so I think that gets those two firing and wanting to work with him, and then I see that as next year's midfield right there.
But you guys got to start selling some people at some point here.
I think we're going to start clearing out over the summer. I think you'll see a lot of people leaving at a discounted rate. But man, I like that the club is being aggressive and not just sitting back, not just sitting. I mean, look at Everton. You could be in that situation where the board can't even come to the match. So this is the complete opposite. I hear a lot of the rumblings, man, but this is a great thing for football that a big club is going out and trying to make it happen, trying to chase down the trophy.
Yeah, so let's talk about the other end of the table. Since you brought in Everton, a great segue for us. I mean, is this really possible that we could see Everton go down the championship? Is this a real thing? Like how much money could be lost by them, like just for the Premier League, regardless of how Everton's a big club that generates a lot of cash.
Yeah, man, it would be very disappointing to see such a historic club, like you're saying, a big club go down. But I think it is potentially feasible. I mean, who would you rather see go in their place? You want Bournemouth down? You want Wolverhampton down? I don't want to see a Leicester City go down. But kudos to like a Nottingham Forest, man. I mean, they're doing the business and putting up points. So yeah, that's going to be something to continue to monitor. And then also West Ham. West Ham's not safe either.
That's another bigger. I mean, that's clubs in London. Like that's the Olympic. Their building is the Olympic building that was built when London got the Olympics. Like right. It's money been spent into West Ham.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a huge stadium, so I mean it's already. I think it's like 80,000 plus, so it's already tough to have a real atmosphere on a stadium that big. And then I mean if they drop down, I mean what do you get in 20,000, 25,000 there?
Yeah, I mean it can't. I think we're gonna start seeing those Buffalo Wild Wing commercials where the ref is going to stop some stuff and it's like, hey, we got to get this money back. This ain't gonna work.
Right. And listen, man, with FIFA being involved overall, I wouldn't rule that out, man. The Premier League, like you're saying, it is big business, so that's something to keep our eyes on. Are there any interesting decisions or lack thereof that allow them to stay up or gain some points? That's something I'm really going to monitor. I'm glad you brought that up.
I mean, and and they went out and spent some money. They kept Gordon.
Yeah.
They got Gardner from us. They got they got weapons. It just I'm not saying they're top 8, but to be in a relegation battle for them is it's a lot.
No, it really is, man, and just very surprising. But again, I think it's healthy for the Premier League because it just goes to show you every match matters. Anybody can drop down, and those teams down in the championships, like, listen, hey, you can make it. You can come up and stick around. Look at Nottingham Forest, man. So,
I mean, look at Fulham.
I like that for the parity. That as well. Yeah,
I mean they're in a Europa League spot right now. Like that'd be awesome for Fulham to get a Europa League spot.
Right. Yeah, because I remember, man, like those late '90s, Fulham was a big club. You know what I mean? Yep. And so they've kind of yo-yoed, but like you're saying, now they're back in those competitions. So that's great.
I mean, with Clint Dempsey being there, they went to a Europa League final with Clint Dempsey. In the early 2000s. Like so, it was Fulham has had. And it's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, so he would love to have that extra cash come in there because he's been putting money in the Fulham. Like he's been dumping money in there.
Yeah, trying to get them back to a Premier League status. No, you're absolutely right. That's another good example, man. American owners are spending money in the Premier League.
Because they know it's extra money that you don't think about for an owner. And it seems like Arsenal with that Kroenke is actually starting to trying to put money because before it was like Kroenke's kind of had it. It was like. I end up owning it on accident just because other people kind of moved and shaked around out of Arsenal. Now he's kind of actually putting money into it, maybe because the Rams aren't good this year, and it's like, all right, well, let me keep my other team doing well. I don't know how that works. But
Yeah, I think the supporters had a big deal, with getting Kroenke's attention. But Arsenal, they always kind of have a different method on how they do their transfers, the scouting, young, and they tend to bring their folks in for a pretty reasonable pricing. So, yeah, no, it's good to see them really kind of clicking and being back, and I think that they are back.
no, quiet as kept. I think they kind of might run away with this league, man.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. But I also think that Pep and City, man, I think they're not done yet. I think they're
No,
far
they're
from
not done
done.
yet. But it's so much of a gap starting to open up. It's almost to think of like,
Is
can
it
they?
8 points now? I think it is 9
Yeah,
points.
and they still have 2 games against City. But okay, let's say City wins those two. There's 2 points sitting there
Right,
still that you gotta
right.
hope that somebody jumps up and snatches them for you.
Yeah,
And you have to win all the rest of your games as well as City.
yeah. No, it ratchets up the pressure, but yeah, man, that'll keep eyeballs on the games. That's for sure.
Yeah, one topic I wanted to jump into, man. It's Carabao Cup, man. These cups, man. We got to let one of these go, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's too many cups. You can see, especially like on the mid-tier teams, the bottom-tier teams, it really puts a strain on them because they don't have the depth. You're playing in strange locations in the middle of the week.
You're playing at like Cambridge with 22,000 fans,
yeah, you're like at Crawley Town on a Thursday night, and it's raining. It's a tough
But it
watch.
makes so much money for those lower. They said those lower clubs literally will make their whole budget off of that one of those Carabao Cup or EFL games. Like,
Yeah. That's something else to consider. Yeah, if it's healthy for those smaller clubs, like you said, and I can see that when Manchester United rolls into Crawley Town or something, like, yeah, it's the biggest thing since sliced bread. So that makes
so,
sense.
and then they were asking like, how can they get the cups back up and going? And with the new Champions League setup, we're going to get 5 teams in. Do we go to a situation where the last cup goes on that winner gets the automatic fifth Champions League qualifier to ratchet up the tournament again?
That would be interesting. I mean, that really opens the door for anybody to make it to that Champions League kind of level. And I mean, that's a hell of a.
And you wouldn't be sitting people like we threw out like our under 21s against Charlton last game. Like now clubs will start playing their real players all the time, more likely
to try to snatch that spot. Yeah, I see your point there. Yeah, I kind of like that idea actually. You know what I mean? Because it's good for all sides, right? And it gives a little something else to kind of watch on Champions League. Like, okay, how did they make it? Okay, this is the path they took, won this tournament, qualified. I like that. Yeah.
And think about what if a championship team that's coming up and qualifies for the Champions League and it helps boost up their money for that moment, even though they might go out and don't make it to the next round, but there are more teams anyway now in Champions League. We get a 5th spot now. Why not spice it up and make it kind of more exciting?
No, I totally like it. I totally like that, man. I think that's great.
And I like the cup is getting drainful, man. Like it's getting dreadful. Where it's like people are rolling out like nobody's out there to play these lower clubs.
How would that work if you did that in all the top leagues, right? So like the Bundesliga, the Bundesliga and the second level of the Bundesliga could do the same thing. So you could have somebody from the second division.
DK Pollock trophy they have, the DK Pollock trophy, like the winner of that gets automatic qualifier.
Exactly. Yeah.
That'd be interesting. You would see some teams make with only thing that I think the people would I could see people putting all their stuff into the cup and like negating the actual league play. Like where where they're rolling out lower level players for their other games and they putting up everything for the League Cup.
Because like you're saying, that Champions League exposure, even though they probably get eliminated very quickly, would be a huge payday. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got the night games on your Tuesday and Wednesdays. You're on national world TV. Burnley sitting there on world TV.
Yeah, you're in a group with Barcelona, or you know what I mean, Ajax.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a bigger club. You just gotta make sure the little guys don't come up. You gotta knock them off and not play around with them.
Put them away. That's right.
Yeah. All right, man. Pele passing, man. We lost Pele a few weeks ago, man. I mean, the GOAT.
Yeah, absolute legend, man. We all got an expiration date. You know what I mean? I was hitting up on Twitter. I was like, "Hey, that's a hell of a January transfer signing by God, man. Putting Pele on the club up there in heaven,
Yeah.
man." And no, he did a lot for the game, man. And so yeah, rest in power, man, for sure.
Do you think that it would have been like the greatness could have been like take it to another level if he really got that club level like Cristiano and Messi got, where they're in the World Cup and they're getting this club level as well. We really only got to see Pele at the World Cup. Like if you were back then, you only got to see him then. You really didn't get to see him too much on a bigger scale playing against all these players all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I always can think about what could have been kind
Yeah,
of deal, but I think everybody, blazes their own path. And I think, what he did is important for the game here in the States, especially. I mean, it was a cash grab for him, but also talking about growing the game. I mean, like, yeah, he
because he
really
came and
has
played
his
for like
hands.
Barnstormed up here, right?
Was it Metro
Metro Stars or
Cosmos?
something.
New York
Cosmo. Yep.
Cosmos. Yeah, so yeah, man, he was at what Studio 54, and you know what I mean. He was around for all
He was
that
out there
jazz.
taking it.
Yeah, but no, that was really big. Yeah, man, it's tough to see him go, man. For real.
Yeah, and rest in peace to great Pele. So, St. Louis City FC, man, our local club is full in action. They got their pieces. They traded away their first pick in the
Mhm.
draft. But people are like, why they do it? It makes sense because they got some cash just to be able to throw out there. I think they got 300,000 in cash and two
Mhm.
other picks later on. So,
Yeah,
as a new
yeah.
club, you kind of need the bread. Go ahead and take the number one pick. It's not a big deal for us. We're just trying to build here anyway.
Right, right. Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So strategically, I can see why that happened. Yeah, man, it's pretty cool to see them downtown, right there by Union Station. Actually training, putting in time on the pitch, man. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, the South African guy, central defensive midfielder Blom. I think he's gonna be one to watch, man. He's young, coming from Kaiser Chiefs. He's another one on FIFA that's actually pretty nice on FIFA as well. For
Yeah.
FIFA players, man, you pick up Blom, sign him to your fantasy team. But yeah, man, I'm really happy for the club, and I'm really waiting to see that away jersey. We only seen a home jersey. What's that
Yeah,
away
I really
jersey
see how
gonna
that
look
away
like?
one's gonna look. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be
So.
interesting to see that. Do you think that this rivalry with Kansas City will pick up as well?
Oh yeah, I think that's inevitable, man. I think people are gonna be making that highway run back and forth. Yeah, both hotbeds, but St. Louis definitely kind of I think is gonna always be top dog. You know how we treat them like little bro. So
Yep,
you
yep,
know what I
yep,
mean.
yep, yep. With everything, like it's always St. Louis is always, and it Kansas City will never eclipse St. Louis, regardless of
Right.
all the improvements y'all do to y'all city. It'll still be St. Louis over Kansas City. I'm sorry for I can't see people that listen. It's just always what it is.
Let the hate mail begin.
Yeah, let the hate mail, let the hate mail start up, man.
Yeah.
All right, so as we wrap up, man, your top four going into the new predictions for top four. What do you have? We always end the show with our top four.
Yeah, I think this is gonna end. Listen, I think things are going to get really interesting. I got Manchester City still lifting the trophy, although it doesn't look good. I see Arsenal nipping at it and being right there, but just missing out. I think Manchester United does do the business and with a strong, finish coming in third. And I think Chelsea really pulls
Wow, you
ourselves up
really
in
got
this
this.
10th position. Listen, I know it's a long shot. I know it's a lead. Sometimes you got to shoot for the Hail Mary, man. And that's what this is. But yeah, that's what I'll be looking for. Top four for Chelsea back in the Champions League.
Oh, man, I'm going with the top four people that are there now currently: Arsenal, Man City, Man U, Newcastle. I think Newcastle's going.
Mm,
I've been saying like it's just bound to happen, but every week they keep on pulling it out, and I just think that they're drawing enough and they're winning. It's like a weird thing. They're winning and drawing the games they need to. So if they can
yeah.
just get a draw, a 0-0 draw against Man City or Man U, that's all they need to just pick up the point.
I see where you're going, and I think that's plausible. But I also just see them as a building. I still think this season is a building season for them, and next year is when they go for the gusto. So I'm predicting some sort of major failure, a string of losses, and them dropping out of that top four.
Ooh, okay. So we still got Chelsea there in the top four. So Liverpool not making it in your top four. I see.
They're right there at five,
They're right
six,
there at
right
five.
there.
So how catastrophic for you will it be if if they don't make even the top 7.
Chelsea not making the top 7? It's not even something I'm willing to discuss at this juncture.
It's not even in this discussion.
Speak no evil, hear no evil.
Would y'all turn down a Europa League invite?
Listen, man, we're going to show up and shine in any tournament, but honestly, what is the Champions League without the Blues, man? Like, come on now. We've lifted that trophy multiple times. Don't forget that. So you want us in that top 4.
I mean, do we really need y'all in that top 4? We don't necessarily do. I mean, I mean, is your manager even going to make it through February? Is the next question.
Hey, he's been given a lot of toys, man. So we're gonna see how he winds them up, and time is gonna ultimately tell. But I'm on the fence with him. I'm on the fence, and the goalkeeper position is something that I still feel is really shaky.
Why is Mendy hurt, or like what's the deal?
I think he's in the doghouse. You know what I was thinking of just this weekend, because there's been multiple weeks where we haven't seen any sightings of him at all, and Kepa still looks shaky. Looks shaky at the weekend. So.
I mean, it's always fun when Kepa's in there. I have more. Yeah, like it's always gonna be a good time. I see Kepa go. I'm like, we're gonna win.
It just feels like a Russian roulette for us every weekend. Like y'all can't
let him go because he's so expensive. You can't even get rid of him.
Can't get rid of him. I think he was a $80-90 million signing. So yeah.
Because where'd he come from?
Was it Athletic Balboa in Spain? Because he's Spanish.
He came from Balboa, Bilboa or whatever. Athletic Bilboa. Athletic. Yeah. They call it Athletic.
Yeah.
Oh, so he balled out there?
Yeah. So he was a top keeper once upon a time, but I think also the scouting and inflation. You know what I mean? Projecting. I'm not seeing it.
I'm just saying, look, everybody was doubting my boy, the Rolls Royce, Raphael Varane. Give that man his roses. He is the unofficial captain of the Manchester United squad. He's out there directing people. He calms everybody down. Martinez is a nutcase over on that other side of him, so somebody's got to be calm when you have a man just pushing people down on the other side of the pitch. I just wanted to give that man his props. That man was a great signing. A lot of people were like, "Oh, he's older in the tooth." Same thing, Casemiro. Those brothers know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
That veteran experience, it counts, man. And you're right. Your back 4 looks really good and settled, man. But Martial, that's the one that I'm not sure. Martial can.
I mean, we got Weghorst coming in. We'll see how that rolls with that. Yeah. I'm still shaky on that transfer. It's like, all right. I mean, I guess we needed a body. Like it's like
right.
We don't have. We have a whole bunch of wingers and no strikers.
Yeah, he gives you something different. He's like more that target man type build. You know what I mean? So he gives you something different.
One topic I do want to cover and we talked about this a little bit, and I forgot to put it up. The idea of the upfront 9 striker is done for. Maybe is it like that? The Haaland type player. Not saying that Haaland is a bad player, but I'm talking about the idea of having like I need a number 9 up top. That's this guy that's going to be just my main striker. It seems like everyone's got wingers now, like 3 wingers running out there now.
Yeah, no, it's been an evolution in the game, definitely, man. You don't see it as much anymore, and I think you know. Teams want to be more fluid, interchanging, you know what I mean? Just false philosophies, false nine, or just want to counterattack, you know what I mean? That's our whole thing. You see a lot of teams. Remember, just especially in the Premier League, you used to see a lot of the balls being played over the top. Like now everything's ticky-tack through the middle, you know what I mean? A lot of backwards passing, a lot of side to side. Where I remember, like, clubs like Wimbledon, they were sending the ball 50 yards over the top, try to bring it down on your half of the field, and then we want to play football. Then we'll play on the floor. And I kind of miss that. But I think there's still a place, man. There's still that type of talent, coming. So. Yeah,
I mean, because it just feels like Haaland is like the last of like the big men, like the stereotypical 6'5" up front striker that's going to dominate everything. You're Cristiano Ronaldo. We talk about the aging stars. That style doesn't beg anymore. It feels like.
I think it's the manager's philosophies, man. I think there's still a place. I think it's still something difficult to play against. I mean, and also like you got a great defender in Martinez, but look, stature, size. You know what I
Yeah, he's
mean?
only
Having
5'10", 5'11".
you know, yeah. So he's gonna have a hard time with a 6'7" dude built like a tree trunk. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so I think there's still a place for that kind of game. You know.
yeah. So, man, thank y'all for listening. As always, it's Just Kicking It. We'll be back next week. We got the Arsenal game against Man U. Who y'all have next week?
Liverpool.
Oh, that's snap.
Yeah,
So this
yeah. It's another big
is
one.
this like your top four is potentially still alive? Like in the year, it's like one in, one out. Like it's only one one must go.
Yeah, Hunger Games.
Yeah, the Hunger
Absolutely.
Games.
That's what this is.
Is it
No,
at
but
is it at Stamford Bridge?
I I think it's away. No, I'm pretty sure it's away.
Ooh,
At
it's
Anfield.
gonna be
So
spicy.
so yeah, no man, Titans clashing all over the place on the table this weekend. So yeah, man, all eyes on the Premier League for
Yeah,
sure.
all eyes on it. And I thank y'all for listening as always. We'll be back
Yes,
soon.
sir.
Peace.
Peace.